What's up, everybody? I'm glad you guys get it in on the Balogun Bamo channel. Uh, I want to get straight into the point. The media is doing a masterful job of trying to sell it to the black masses and everybody else, and those extremists, that black nationalists, anybody that claim they're a black nationalist, or black nationalism, is a form of terrorist, form of people practicing terrorism and tied to terrorism, and that is a blatant lie. Blatant lie. Don't listen to the media. Um, the media don't know anything. Black nationalism, when you study it on its roots, it comes from Marcus Garvey and Marcus Garveyism and Haile Selassie and all these guys. Black Wall Street, when you do your history, was basically individuals in the black community exercising black nationalism when they were in, I think it was Iowa, when they dropped a bomb on out there. And this is when you had the guys like the 1%, basically Illuminati guys, J.P. Morgan and all those guys, because you had black owned banks, black owned, all the thing was consolidated, monopolized by all blacks, basically like a small Atlanta, then thriving robustly. And they did not want the black owned banks and all the black owned dollar to be. It was a threat to J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, and the rest of those guys, because they needed the black dollar, of course, just like today. So what they did was they dropped the bomb. Now, this is what we're dealing with today. We're still dealing with the bomb being dropped on us, metaphorically speaking. Um, when the Black Panther Party organized, the people were disillusioned. The media took it in a masterful assault then on the Black Panther Party. The climate was just like what it was then. It's what it pretty much was like what it is now. Blacks were getting shot in Los Angeles. People that know the history, people from California will tell you. Um, and what the citizens did, the black citizens, those that were abreast to black civil liberties and what civil liberties that we were awarded as Americans, alleged Americans, they seen to that these did not escape us. So they armed themselves, and also not on top of arming themselves in their communities, they also took it upon themselves to feed and nourish their communities, to show and teach they each everybody, and try to connect them to their past in the communities. They don't tell you about all these things that the Black Panther Party was for and what it was organized for. It was not organized to fight the government. Don't let them lie to you. They are lying. This is what the Nixon regime and the Republicans and all these scared, even the Democrats, the fixocrats, even them. They came and lied and said that they were a terrorist back regime. That to this day cannot be proven. They did not preach a philosophy of communism. They are lying. They might have say certain backings from certain individuals that they probably could tie and say that, oh, okay, there's communism. No, just because you don't deal with Castro or Cuba or Che Guevara. Why is that? How does that make them communists? It doesn't. All it does is they were fighting. They were all fighting oppressors that were trying to oppress their country, and they understood what the African was going on over here in America. A lot of them have African ties due to slavery, especially Cuba. That's why it's so sympathetic to the black man's plight over here in America. But they disillusion you with Cuba being communists and all that bear pigs through Kennedy. They don't want to tell you the truth that Castro was not going to be a part of what America had going on with slavery and how America was treating the black man. Castro in the Castro regime has always been sympathetic to the black man. Malcolm X, you always see him in pictures with Castro. That's why we had to go. He was organizing those political ties that would have helped the black man politicize along through Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, South and Central America, the Caribbean islands. They don't want me to tell you now. Malcolm was on then. Malcolm was on bringing the French black man and all those, the German black man and the Russian black man and the Asian black man, and bringing them all to their awareness to the African continent's plight and the African Americans' plight and the African Britishmen's plight. Uh, the media see the same thing now. The media see that with social media, we have instant access now to bridge a lot of gaps that wasn't accessible to us. So now you have CNN, Fox, they're getting on there saying, oh, this black nationalism and this black nationalism and all black nationalists, they exercise and preach terrorists. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. There's no, they cannot even validate that. They're America does not want to address the real issue. America has, when America was framing up the Constitution, I have to bring this back to every black man's vision. And you pay attention to this, you listen, you do your work, you go ahead and research it. Look at some of the pictures too. During the time when they were all fair, they were framing that piece of paper up called the Constitution, saying all men are created equal, and all that shit. Do you know that he was still bringing slaves from Africa to their new world at that time, the 13 colonies, in the bowels of those slave ships, and they were bringing them in chains. They were branding them. They were treating them like horses. They putting them in hog pens. They're raping the women. They were doing all these things, and then they had the servants serving them while they're doctoring up this all men are created equal, and none of them were white. They were all black. So, when in that man's mind were you at any time in his mind equal to him? Can you tell me? You had to, in the 60s, you had to fight for the right to even eat next to this man. You were killed because you were trying to eat next to this man. You were beaten and brawled. Women were spit on and kicked and punched. And, oh man, just because they wanted to sit next to someone at a diner. They were treated inhumanely because you wanted to sit on a bus. When are you gonna get it? You should have got it when they said that all men were created equal. And this piece of paper was written at a time when you were being brought over here by the thousands in shackles and chains. This piece of paper was written when the Armistead tragedy took place. When are you gonna get it? You had to fight for your voting rights when the white man had his. You had to fight for your citizenship when the white man had his. You had to fight for every right that you have right now. And you're still being shot in the streets illegally when the white man isn't being shot in the streets illegally by white officers. White officers are running in Walmart and shooting black men with pellet guns illegally. When are you going to get it? See, the thing is, people don't want to address these pertinent issues. So what they do, they'll label us terrorists. I don't practice any. I don't terrorists. No, I think that's the lowest level. I don't practice any form of terrorism nor any form of Nation of Islam doctrines. I respect the nation. I don't have any disrespect for it. I respect the nation. I think the nation can help in the black man's plight and has helped in the black man's plight. Doesn't mean it helps as overall helped, but it has done its good. The Black Lives Matter movement, it has had this negative outlook put on it because they don't want to address the fact that black lives are being taken. So it's simple. If all lives matter, then why are only black people being killed? Then if all lives matter, then why are you having a problem with us saying Black Lives Matter and proving it to us that Black Lives Matter? They don't want to address the fact that black people are being killed by police officers illegally. This is America's way of sweeping it under the rug, sidestepping it and saying that the Black Lives Matter movement is tied to terrorism and communism and ISIS. Uh, Instead of addressing why the movement exists in itself, period. Why are we even talking about it? I seen a video of a woman being punched and tased, a black woman by a white officer. Disgusted me. I've never seen any. How many white women can say that they've been punched and tased? And I want to see one white woman, 15, let's say 15 to 20 of you, respond to this video. Tell me about your encounter. How many of you can say that you actually were choked hold and slammed down in a bikini by an officer? And don't he has any probable cause or any other explanation of why we have these things? Why do we have this? If we are citizens, or we are actual citizens, why do we have any type of civil rights struggle? Why do we even have that? Why did we even have that? Why did Martin Luther King get killed? Why did Malcolm X get killed? Why did Emmett Till get killed? Emmett Till, he whistled at a white lady, they said. They allegedly said he did. If he was deemed created equally, he'd still be alive, wouldn't he? Name one white boy that has whistled at a black woman and was hung, shot, eyes pulled out. Name one. Name one white man that has been hung by black men. Ku Klux Klan. They have hung, maimed, hunted down, shot down, raped, blew up little kids in church. And yet to this day, they have not been called terrorists. But there has not been one life taken by the Black Panthers that could be attributed. One white life hung, raped, maimed, that can be attributed. Not alleged by the government. The government fabricated all kind of bullshit crimes against Shada Shakur and Zard Shakur and a lot of Black Panthers. That was a lie. What have you actually can produce where they terrorize a race of people over 10 years? Can you show us? It's right there in your face. Once the Black Panthers got together and said we're going to arm ourselves and exercise our rights to protect ourselves against this violence, they were deemed by Nixon a terrorist group. And the Ku Klux Klan were in the 60s, were still hanging people. The civil rights struggle was at its height, was at its highest. When are blacks gonna get it? When are you today gonna understand that you're still a second-class citizen? You still one. You really want to get your rights? You need to choke hold all those senators and congressmen. Get them out of there.